Okay, I'm ready to start this experiment. I'm going to try to determine if the size of the Alka-Seltzer particles impacts how fast the reaction occurs. So we've decided that we're going to use a whole tablet, a broken up tablet, and a crushed tablet. So I have a whole tablet here that I will use for the beaker, the first beaker. The second one will be a broken one. So it is broken up into some pieces. There are 4 large pieces. And this one we're going to crush using a mortar and pestle. All right, so there are my 3 sample sizes of the Alka-Seltzer. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add vinegar to each of these beakers, and we've decided to use 100 milliliters for each. Now notice the beakers have markings on them, but I cannot use the markings on a beaker to measure volume. It is not accurate. It's not precise, and therefore we're going to use a graduated cylinder. So a graduated cylinder is the appropriate tool for measuring volume. So I'm going to add 100 milliliters. So I want to be consistent between all 3 beakers, and I'm measuring the same volume for each. Now remember, when I measure volume, I need to look at it at eye level and look at the bottom of the meniscus. All right, so I have 100 milliliters there. I have 100 milliliters in the second one. And I have 100 milliliters in the third one. So all beakers have the same volume of vinegar. Next, I will check the temperature. Make sure that the temperature is the same for each one of them. We don't want that to be a factor in this process. And when I record temperature, I must also be at eye level, 23 degrees. 23.0 degrees, so we do need to have that 0 at the end. 23.0 degrees is our temperature. Now I'm going to go ahead and record how long it takes for the Alka-Seltzer tablets or pieces to react fully. So I'm going to start off with the big one. I have my timer ready, so I'm going to go ahead and start the timer when I place this in there. If I were with a partner, then I could probably do more than one at the same time. But since I don't have a partner, and I want to be as representative as possible, I'm going to do one at a time. And I'm going to stop the timer when the majority of the bubbles are gone. It is important for a scientist to have patience and not try to speed things up or encourage it to behave differently. So I'm going to just be calm and patient and wait for this process to finish. So I'm keeping a good eye on here, and I see that it is almost done, but I still see a lot of bubbles inside the beaker. So I'm going to wait until even more of those bubbles are gone. All right, I'm going to call this one done. So I'm going to record a time of 2 minutes 31 seconds. 2 minutes and 31 seconds for the whole tablet. I'm going to reset my timer, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the broken up tablet. So again, I'm going to start the button, start the reaction. Again, I'm being patient. Again, it's not finished yet. There are still bubbles. Again, I want to make sure that my end time is matching as closely as possible to the time that this took to get to the same amount of clearness, I should say. Clarity. I'm going to give this a swirl because it looks like it's just about there. And I think I can stop this one. This one says 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Two minutes and 24 seconds. And this one is finished. All right, I'm going to reset it, and I'm going to be ready to start the next one. Remember, this is the crush tablet. So I'm going to start this at the same time as I add the crushed tablet. Again, I want to make sure I stop the timer when we get the same degree of clarity in my final solution as the others. And so that's a little bit subjective. Again, it looks like it's almost finished, but I still see bubbles coming from the bottom. I'm going to give it a bit of a swirl. Again, I'm looking for the same degree of clarity in this beaker as the others. And it looks like this one is finished, so I'm going to stop. And it looks like this is 1 minute and 50 seconds. Alright, so we have this experiment is done, we've collected our data, and now it's about interpreting the data.